Number 9. If someone is having a seizure, put something in their mouth. The danger in this myth begins long before anyone reaches for an object. It starts with the sudden stillness that comes before the body loses control, a moment that leaves bystanders uncertain about what is happening. That uncertainty often turns into panic, and in that panic, the idea of protecting the tongue feels urgent, almost instinctive, even though the moment doesn't call for intervention at the mouth at all. As the seizure takes over, the jaw locks with a force that can crush anything placed between the teeth. Objects meant to keep the airway open only create new threats, broken fragments, blocked breathing, injuries that linger long after the episode ends. The airway is never in danger from the tongue, but it becomes endangered the instant something foreign is forced inside. When the movements begin to slow, the real opportunity to help finally appears. Turning the person gently onto their side keeps the airway clear without interference, and supporting the head prevents further harm as control returns. Nothing about this process requires reaching near the mouth. The safest response is built on restraint, not action, and on understanding that the body will recover more smoothly when nothing is forced into a place it was never meant to be. Number 8. You should suck out snake venom. The belief usually takes hold in the first chaotic moments after a bite, when fear works faster than logic. Someone sees the puncture marks, imagines venom spreading instantly, and reaches for the only action they've seen in movies: press their mouth to the wound and try to pull the danger back out. In the rush to do something, the simplest gesture feels like the most necessary one. But venom doesn't linger at the surface. It enters the lymphatic system almost immediately, traveling deeper with every heartbeat. Suction removes almost none of it, but it does introduce new risks: bacteria from the mouth entering torn tissue, additional injury from pressure, and a dangerous delay in getting real help. The moment spent trying to extract venom is a moment the venom continues moving unhindered. As the minutes pass, the outcome depends not on improvised techniques, but on stillness and speed, immobilizing the limb, keeping the heart rate low, and reaching medical care as quickly as possible. Antivenom and proper treatment determine survival, not the instinct to intervene at the bite site. The bite itself is only the beginning. What matters most is avoiding every action that makes the venom's path easier. Number 7. CPR means mouth-to-mouth breathing. The body collapses without warning. The heart has stopped. The brain begins losing oxygen almost immediately. People nearby hesitate, not because they don't want to help, but because they believe there is a step they cannot take. They remember leaning close. They remember breath. They remember something personal, invasive, and uncomfortable. The delay begins there. For decades, CPR was taught as a combination of compressions and rescue breaths. That image stayed fixed in public memory. What changed was the science. In the first critical minutes after cardiac arrest, the blood already contains oxygen. The problem is not air. The problem is circulation. Continuous chest compressions keep oxygen moving to the brain and heart. Stopping to deliver breaths often breaks that flow and reduces survival, especially when done incorrectly. The myth persists, and it stops people from acting. Modern emergency guidance is clear. For untrained bystanders, hands-only CPR is enough to save a life. Strong, fast compressions in the center of the chest matter more than anything else. When people wait for the breathing part, they wait too long. The heart does not wait. Number 6. If someone is choking, hit their back while upright. It starts with a cough that suddenly stops. The person's hands go to their throat. Their face tightens as air fails to move. Someone nearby reacts on instinct, stepping behind them and striking their back while they're still standing. It looks decisive. It feels like action. In that moment, everyone believes they are helping. The problem is gravity. When a person is upright and choking on a solid obstruction, forceful back blows can drive the object deeper into the airway. Instead of dislodging it, the strike can wedge it tighter against the windpipe. Airflow, already restricted, can be completely sealed. What was a partial blockage can become total in seconds. Effective choking response depends on position and pressure. Abdominal thrusts are designed to force air upward from the lungs, creating enough pressure to expel the object outward, not downward. Back blows are only recommended in specific situations, such as with infants or when the person is already bent forward. The upright back slap myth persists because it looks logical. In reality, it can turn a survivable emergency into a fatal one. Number 5. Cold weather causes hypothermia instantly. The belief is simple and dangerous. Hypothermia is imagined as something sudden, dramatic, and tied only to extreme cold, snowstorms, blizzards, Arctic conditions. People assume that as long as temperatures are above freezing, the risk is low. That assumption quietly delays recognition while the body is already failing. Hypothermia does not require extreme cold. It occurs when the body loses heat faster than it can produce it. Wet clothing, wind, exhaustion, poor nutrition, or alcohol accelerate that process. Temperatures as high as 50 degrees Fahrenheit can become lethal over time. In these conditions, the body cools gradually. Shivering begins, coordination declines, and judgment deteriorates. The person often does not realize what is happening. The danger lies in how slowly it progresses. People keep moving, keep walking, keep believing they are fine. As core temperature drops, confusion replaces awareness. Simple tasks become difficult. Seeking shelter feels unnecessary. By the time collapse occurs, recovery becomes far more difficult. Hypothermia is not instant. It is quiet, cumulative, and often fatal because it is not recognized early enough. Number 4. Drinking alcohol warms you in the cold. The cold sets in slowly. Fingers stiffen. Breath turns shallow. Someone offers alcohol, believing it will take the edge off the cold. The first effect feels convincing. A flush spreads through the skin. Warmth seems to return. The body feels looser. The danger appears to recede. What actually changes is blood flow. Alcohol causes blood vessels near the skin to widen, pulling warm blood away from the core. Skin temperature rises briefly, creating the illusion of heat. At the same time, the body begins losing heat faster to the surrounding air. Core temperature drops, not rises. The sensation of warmth masks a worsening internal condition. Judgment declines as heat loss accelerates. Shivering may stop. Warning signs are ignored. People remain exposed longer than they should, believing the alcohol is helping. In cold environments, alcohol is a force multiplier for hypothermia. The myth survives because it feels true. The body tells a different story, and it tells it too late. Number 3. You can outswim a rip current. It begins close to shore. Waves break normally. The water feels shallow. Then the pull starts. Strong, steady, and directed straight out to sea. Most people react the same way. They turn toward the beach and swim as hard as they can, fighting the current head-on. Panic sets in as the distance from shore increases instead of shrinking. A rip current is not a wave. It is a narrow river of fast-moving water flowing away from the beach. Even strong swimmers cannot overpower it. Sprinting against the flow burns energy rapidly, while making no progress. Fatigue builds within seconds. Breathing becomes irregular. Arms and legs slow. The swimmer remains trapped in the same channel, being carried farther offshore. Survival depends on understanding the movement of the water. Rip currents weaken once they extend beyond the breaking waves. Swimming parallel to the shore allows escape from the narrow flow, after which the swimmer can angle back toward land. The myth persists because effort feels like control. In a rip current, effort in the wrong direction is what causes drowning. Number 2. You're safe in a car during a flood. The road looks passable. Water covers the pavement but appears shallow and still. The car continues forward, tires cutting through the surface without resistance. Inside the vehicle, everything feels controlled. Doors closed, engine running. The danger feels outside, not where the driver's sitting. What the water hides is force. As little as 6 inches of moving water can cause a loss of traction. At 12 inches, most cars begin to float. Once buoyancy lifts the tires, steering and braking stop working. The vehicle becomes a loose object in the current, turned sideways and pushed with increasing speed. Doors become difficult or impossible to open as water pressure builds. Most flood-related deaths happen in vehicles. People stay inside, believing the car offers protection. When the vehicle stalls or rolls, escape windows shrink to seconds. The safest decision is made before entering the water at all. The myth persists because cars feel solid. Floodwater treats them like debris. Number 1. Fire kills you by burning. The fire starts small. Flames stay low at first, contained to one room. The heat feels distant. People believe they have time because they are not being touched by fire. Skin is intact. Clothes are not burning. The threat appears manageable. What spreads first is not flame, but smoke. Within minutes, a room fills from the ceiling down with thick, toxic gases. Modern fires burn plastics, foams, and synthetic fabrics, releasing carbon monoxide and hydrogen cyanide. One breath can cause disorientation. 2 or 3 can render a person unconscious. The air becomes lethal long before temperatures rise enough to burn skin. Most fire deaths occur without visible burns. People collapse while trying to escape, overcome by oxygen deprivation and poisoning. Vision fails. Muscles weaken. Consciousness fades. By the time flames reach them, survival is already impossible. The myth endures because fire looks like the killer. In reality, smoke does the work first. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. If you want more videos like this, please subscribe to the channel.